Hey everyone. Today is a little bit of a different video. Today it's a little bit more of a vlog video. Cece is not here with me today. This is a video about my parents. I lost both of my parents this year, one in June and the other one in August. And I'm actually here at the cemetery putting flowers on their grave. Christmas flowers, because my mother loved all the seasons, and so I'm here to switch out the fall ones for the Christmas ones. And I'm actually wearing her sweater today. This is hers. This is for me, and that's the reason why Cece is not here. It's to help me heal a little bit. It's been a hard year, and I've tried not to let it get me down. It's been really hard on me and my family, my sister, my niece, because we have taken care of them, and I bathed them and washed them and fed them, and it was very difficult. So this is kind of something I needed to do for myself to kind of help me heal a little bit better. And I thought this would be probably the best way to do it, is to kind of vlog about it and to talk about it and to get it out, because I'm not much of a person that cries very much, or I show a lot of emotion sometimes. So this is just one of those videos that I felt like I kind of needed to do for myself. That's the reason why I'm here. If you are very sensitive about death, or if you are not one of those people that that can't deal with death at all, or if you don't want to see a sad video, I'm sorry, but today this probably will be very sad, as you can see, as like I'm not even there yet, and I'm like already a little teary-eyed. I'm gonna try my best to keep my composure as much as possible. I'm sure that I might do okay, and then I may not. But it's just one of those things. But I just felt like you guys might want to see, or if you're dealing with someone that has been sick or dealt with a death this year, and with so many things going on, and COVID, and so many things have happened, and so many people have passed away, and I know that there's been many more people other than me that have just lost a loved one, or a spouse, or a friend, or someone, and I just thought maybe that we could kind of do this together. So anyway, I'm going to take you with me. I've got my mother's flowers already set outside the car. So anyway, so I thought I would bring you along with me. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of the cemetery and where they're at, because it's actually very pretty, and it's on a hillside. And it's exactly where she and my dad would want to be. So my dad is waiting on his VA plaque. We have still not received his bronze plaque and done his memorial service yet, which will be the full military service, because he was in the VA for 25 years. He was in the Vietnam War, and I can't even he was in the Vietnam War and in the Korean War. And he went back. He got out, and then he went back again, about 2 or 3 times. And so he served his country well, and he was very, very, he was very patriotic, and it was something that he really, really loved, and he loved his country, and it's something that, he did. That was his big achievement, and we're very proud of him for that. So anyway, we're going to step outside the car, and I'm going to show you guys around and kind of give you guys an idea of what it kind of looks like. So here we go. So anyway, so I want you guys to see, this is the hillside, and this is the back of my mom's church out this way, where you can kind of see it and how pretty it is. It's very quiet. there's a ramp that comes up the back way where you can see kind of like at the back that kind of comes up towards the grave. And then this is kind of like the up to the gravesite. And then there's a little memorial area up here at the church where they actually have, where anybody can put if they have someone that's cremated beside them. And my parents are here on the hill, right here. Hey Mama, I brought you some flowers. Something for Daddy to gripe about, because you know how much he hated them. I thought you would use something for the holidays, so I brought you something to keep you happy. So anyway, here are the flowers that I bought for her. And we're just going to switch these out so they'll be able to. And I'm going to switch these out, and then I will be right back. And here is the finished product. You know, it is a very cloudy day, as you can see, but the funny thing is that the sun is trying to come out, which is really so interesting on this hillside. Actually, on the day that we buried them, it was just a beautiful day, and the sun kind of shone right here. And it's funny that the sun's trying to come out whenever I'm here, so it's just kind of ironic. You know, it's just, it's hard being here every, you know, and not having them here every day, because I miss them every single day. They were my best friend, and it's really hard without them, because I've had them my whole life. My daddy was 90, and my mother was 89. Maybe 88 if I tell you 89, because she almost made it to 89, but she didn't. She had like 2 more months to go, and we do miss her a lot, and we miss my daddy too. I think about him quite often, because he was my rock, and you know, my parents loved me regardless of what anyone ever said about me or how they ever felt about me. They loved me a lot, and they cared about me a lot, and it didn't matter to them what I did in my life, or if it was something that wasn't the best. They still appreciated it, whatever I did, and they loved me for it. And we had no secrets or any problems or anything that we felt that we missed out on while they were living. We cleared all of that up, if there was any at all, which really there wasn't. I've always been honest and open with them all the time. So, sorry, it's a van driving by. It's just really, it's serene here, and it makes me feel good, and I do feel like I am here with them. So before it rains, so I'll just sit here beside Daddy for just a little bit, for a hot minute. He won't mind. We cremated my father, and he had a special place that he wanted us to take his ashes, and we did that already. And it was a very beautiful moment, and we're very happy that we did that. I just want you guys to know that the whole purpose for this video is that my parents were important people. And they were like they were farmers and textile workers. And they weren't very rich. As a matter of fact, we're very poor, actually. And we didn't have a lot. But my dad tried his best to do what he could. And my mom, she gave us so much love, because it was all about her love. She loved everybody and everybody around. It didn't matter who you were, or whether you were a child, or whether you were a pet, or whether you were a family member or a friend or whatever. Everybody that she touched. That's why we have this angel here, because she was an angel. And she was a very special person and very important. She was a little woman, but she gave a lot of big things back. And my dad was the opposite. He was more blunt and brass, and he liked to voice his opinion. And if my niece was here, she would say, he loved to argue back, and they argue backwards and forwards. And it was her papa was definitely somebody that was a match for her, because they definitely had their moments together. But he was a good person. And we were with my mother whenever she passed. But we were with my father when he passed. They wouldn't let us be with him because of COVID. And although their deaths were not related to COVID, they wouldn't let us in. And he died in the middle of the night. And I think me and my niece have a really guilty feeling about not being there. And when he did go, although we knew that he loved us, and we loved him, and they knew, and we know that, but still, it was the fact that he was by himself. And I think that makes us feel even more, where my mom transited very, very slowly, and she did it so naturally, and it was so beautiful, and we were with us, and I was holding her hand when she went. And my niece sang to her as she went off. She could finally let go, because she was ready to go. She had accepted the fact that she was ready to go to heaven, that my grandparents were waiting for her. My dad, I know he's with her, because she said that she would see him there. And he was a good person, and I know that he's there with her too. And I mean, although my dad died 2 or 3 months after, which was something we weren't expecting, I think what really surprised us is that, I mean, it really shouldn't be a surprise, but it was, but he just couldn't make it without her. He loved her so much, and he just couldn't handle it. And I think he was just done. I think when she left, he was like, I think I'm ready to go too. They were both tired, very tired, and they were tired of being sick. They were tired of being, they were just tired. And it was so hard to see them deteriorate. Especially my mom, because she was so active, and so was my dad. My dad was a outside man, and he played with cars and tractors and the big garden and fields, and when he couldn't do that anymore, he just felt like, and then when his driver's license expired this past year, he just didn't have what he had before, and it made him feel kind of useless. And my mom, she felt the same way. she loved to cook for everybody. And when she started to get to the point where she couldn't cook anymore, that was her thing. That's what she gave to everybody, and everybody that knows her, and all the family. She would make sure that they had, her best pickles in the world, or a pound cake, or, she made the best pound cakes. And, she was just so many things. She was good at baking and making, and food was like her savior. That's what gave her life. And to see people eat her food and bring joy to her face, that is just made her so, so happy. I'm sorry, I look really terrible right now. Listen, the church bells. Mama gets to hear the church bells. I never knew there was church bells here. I had no idea that there were church bells here. I forgot that the church had put them there. I think it's almost 3 o'clock. Yeah, it is. That's wonderful, because she loved the bells. She loved the bells. She loved everything about church. She was a very, very religious person. But she loved everyone and everybody, and there wasn't anything that she wouldn't do for anyone. If she had $1, she would give it to them. If she had, only $5 in her pocket, which a lot of times she did. I remember her working for $5.50 an hour. And she would try her best to make sure everybody had some kind of a present at Christmas, regardless of whether she had anything or not. She always made sure we did. And my dad did the same thing. He worked so hard. His whole life, he worked so hard to have what he had. It's hard, guys. It really is, without having a, I have a family, but they were my family. And I have my sister and I have my niece. And my mother's sister, she's still living. And her and my uncle are pretty much like my mom and dad, my second. And they've been very supportive and awesome. And I have amazing cousins, and they've been very supportive. But without my niece, I don't know what I would do without her, because she's my mom. And it's all about what Amy says. She was the sergeant, and she still is. But because they loved her so much, and she was more than a granddaughter to them. She was their daughter, and she was just somebody that was a lot stronger than that. Than your typical, I guess, I want to say typical granddaughter, but it was just a relationship that was just totally different. I just can't tell you guys how much I appreciate you listening to me go on like this. But today is something that I needed, because I've got to go through the holidays without them this year. And I've never had that before. I've always had my mother for holidays, and she loved all the holidays. She loved wreaths and flowers and birds, and she was a little bit exuberant with stuff. She's a little crazy with the decorations and everything, but it was something that she loved, and I had to make sure that she still gets that every year, regardless, because she still deserves that. Now, my dad could care less about it. He would just complain about it. I miss him fussing, but, you know. But I just really do appreciate you letting me have a moment to, I'm trying to heal. And it's still really new, because it's only been since June. And then my dad was just unexpected in August. And at the end of August, and I just really, really appreciate you listening to me and taking the time out to hopefully not freak out, because I'm like a mess today, and I look like a mess. My mom would probably say, God, you look bad, because I do. I'm probably not in the most flattering light either, but you know what? I am almost 50, so there you go, is what it is. But I do appreciate you guys spending this time with me and letting me have this moment, because I needed it. I really did. And you know, I've never sat up here before, and I don't think if I'd have videotaped this or done this, I don't think I would have ever been able to do this. So I'm really glad that I've taken this time out to come up here and switch the flowers out and kind of have a moment to sit and talk and be with them for just a little while. And see, look, the sun's coming out, and it's been raining and cloudy, and the clouds, they're going away. It's starting to be blue sky. That's Mama. That's my mom. That's her. Because when I come up here, and every time I see a blue sky and a sunshine, or a hummingbird, or a butterfly, or a bird, a red bird, or a blue bird, it's her, and she's there. And my dad is just here. He's in my heart, always. Always. He's always with me. And I know they're always watching me. And they're still watching out for me. Because I'm still their little boy, in a way. And they still love me, regardless. And no matter what I do, I know that they still have my back, and they're still here with me. So, I guess I'll sign off from here, and I'll quit being a big baby. But I just want to thank you for being here, and I hope that you got to see a different side of me. And I'm sorry that Cece wasn't here, but I told her that I felt like I needed to do this on my own, and because she could have held the camera or something, but I just needed to do this by myself, because I felt like I needed to. It was just something that I needed for myself. But I really appreciate any of you guys that have followed us or subscribed to us, because I know that we're a little channel, and I know we don't have a lot to offer, and you know, we just like talking, and we just like being around people and listening to people, and we just love life, and we enjoy it, and we like to laugh, and we like everyone to laugh with us. And that's why we made this channel. And one of the reasons why I made it was because of my mom and my dad, because I've always wanted to do that. And I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and as a teenager I didn't have what the kids have now with YouTube and Snapchat and Twitter and all of those things. And this is something that I wanted to do for myself, because I've always wanted to have an outlet, and this is kind of like my outlet. So I'm really glad that I'm able to kind of channel that energy into it. But anyway, thank you guys for being here with me, and I appreciate it so much. And if you made it this far and you've made it this far with me, then hey, you've hung in there pretty well, because I don't know how much of this I'm going to actually delete out because I feel like it's kind of important to be here, but I know some of our videos have been a little winded and I didn't want it to keep being like that. But anyway, you guys take care of yourselves. And remember one thing, if I don't tell you anything else, please remember that to love everybody that you have every day that is very important to you, whether it be a child, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a parent, a spouse, a husband, a wife. You know, please make sure that you know that you love them and you cherish them and you tell them that every day, that they are in the world, that, you know, that you love them and you care about them and that you support them. And it means the biggest world of difference to every day to someone like that. Because my parents told me every single day that they loved me and they hugged me and they kissed me. Yes, even my dad, being the military dad he was, yes, he still kissed me and yes, he still hugged me. And he was always like that. And they always showed me a lot of love. And then to this day, that is just something that I feel that needs to be passed on more, because I don't feel like we get enough of that in this world these days. And I feel like it needs to be. And you know, we're going through a rough time right now. And I feel like we need to heal. And this is like part of my healing. And I'm glad that I could have you guys with me to help me do that. So thank you so much. And I appreciate it. And we will be seeing you again soon. So peace out. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of the day.